Daisy here again with another layout for SPIEGELMOM Scraps, and I'm combining it with the Off the Board challenge, and I'm using this layout that it was on my Pinterest board, and I loved it so much. It's beautiful. And I am using some of the elements from that, but going kind of a different way. So this cut file that I'm using is actually the Sequins 2 cut file that we received in, I think it was newsletter number 59 or 60, I can't remember exactly, but it's from SPIEGELMOM Scrap and it's a free cut file. And I actually removed some of the pieces because the whole thing looks like a big sequin, and I removed some of the like whole pieces because I wanted them to mimic the pattern paper portion of the inspiration piece. And I will try to link down below. I don't want to say her name because I'm totally going to butcher it, but I think it's, and I'm really sorry, but I think it's Miguel Guzman was the original designer of the layout that I'm doing. And yeah, so I am going to be stringing some sequins on like she did in hers, and I'm going to be doing it in the open parts of the cut file. And I wanted to, like I said, try to mimic the heart shape that she has using this sequin cut file. So I pulled out some of the June releases, which are, no, I have it here somewhere. Of course I can't find it. Toes in the Sand. And these were designed by Crystal, one of my fellow sparklers, and she chose the mood board that inspired the sequin mix. And I'm going to be stringing them on. I'm using some crochet thread, and this crochet thread is something that I actually pick up at the thrift store. So the trick with buying crochet thread from the thrift store is you just need to make sure it doesn't smell like smoke or other things. But otherwise, it's a perfectly good place to get it from, and it's super cheap. I think I got 3 of them for 25 cents a piece, so definitely a good place to check out for some lightly used craft supplies. So all I'm doing here is I'm stringing on some sequins, and actually I'm going a little crazy here, and I do end up changing it off screen because I realized with the amount of sequins I just put on this, I would run out after like 3 of the rays. So I do change it where I only string 10 sequins on, and then I just feed it on, and I think you're gonna see me kind of spread them apart, but then I do end up putting them back together in kind of little clumps because I just like that better. So I didn't leave very much of this in, of me just putting on sequins, but basically I'm just using a big needle, and the trick with the needle is you need to find one that has a slim eye on it so that it will fit through the sequin. Because you know they're tiny holes, and you need to make sure. So if you want to test it out ahead of time before you string or thread your needle, make sure that it goes through one of the sequins, because there's nothing more frustrating than finding out that it won't fit and you have to, you know, kind of start over. But yeah, this is kind of a bigger needle with as big of an eye on it as I could possibly get, because the crochet thread is a little thick. So here again, I strung on just heel on this one, but then I'm going to change that anyway, and I'm just kind of going from the middle to the outside and looping it around. And so yes, it is kind of wasting a little bit of thread to get, you know, back up to the other side, but again, I'm okay with it. I have a huge ball of it. and it's not like that big of a deal for me. I'm really sorry if my voiceover is a little slow today. It's 6:47 and I'm still working on my coffee, and I just haven't been sleeping very well, so I just feel like my brain is not like fully functioning yet. So anyhow, this is the completed piece. I did leave the part that's going to be behind the photo without the sequin lines because it does create quite a bit of dimension and it's a little hard to match that. And then the cut file, I put some fun foam on the back of it. And those little lines that go around like the center of the sequin, I did cut it off, and I'm feeding it underneath, like you can see there, I'm feeding that line underneath the line of sequins. And that helps hold them into that space that I created for them in the cut file. And just gluing everything down. You're going to see me use a lot of Tombow today because I ran out of ATG, and of course that's one of the things on Amazon that's going to take like 3 weeks to get here, so of course it is. But yeah, so I just tried to stagger the sequins a little bit, but every time I move the layout they do shift, you know, just a little bit, so I'm going to wait until the end and kind of fix them up. But I got this She's Magic 12 by 12 paper pad and decided that I wanted to use some of the papers from this. I do choose to use just that first one that I pulled out. It's kind of like a coral color with holographic foil design. And I thought I was going to cut each one of these pieces out by hand and then quickly decide, yeah, that's not going to happen because I don't like fussy cutting. So I'm going to put this on my mat and actually use my silhouette and cut it out again. I'm going to do the mirror image so that the pieces fit correctly on the solid parts of the cut file. You'll see here in a minute what I mean. So each wedge of the sequin cut file is like a mirror image of itself, or of each other. So then I just did the mirror cut file so that they would fit correctly on my layout. I don't know if that made sense. But yeah. So I pulled out all of those butterflies. Those are from the same sequin mix. And then I'm pulling out a few other ones. There are some like dimensional floral sequins in this mix as well. And so I'm pulling some of those out and some of the other colors out so I can put the rest of these away. And I definitely wanted to use some of the butterflies. I was thinking about using that pom-pom thing, but that doesn't actually stay on there. And then since there is some gold in the sequin mix, I am going to go with that gold title. Even though there is a holographic print, foil print on the pattern paper I'm using, I'm okay with that. Because the holographic part kind of picks up whatever color you put near it, so it's fine. So here you can see I'm trying to match up because each wedge is a little bit different, so I'm trying to match up where the pieces go so that they fit correctly, because each wedge is just slightly different sizes. And now that I have it matched up correctly, I'm going to put these on here, and this is kind of giving it the illusion of being lifted up on some fun foam like in the inspiration piece. I'm just going to lay each piece down and then go in and glue each one down and then work on some more embellishing. Excuse me. So if you haven't already, definitely head on over to the SPIEGELMOM Scraps Facebook group. There's always inspiration going on in there. We have a lot of fun things going on. Some Facebook Lives are going to be happening, so you don't want to miss out on those. It's also where you're going to find out when the pre-orders are being well, the June pre-order is already up, but when the next pre-order comes up, or if there's any sales or new sequin mixes or anything like that. And you can always use my code DAISY15 for 15% off your next purchase in the SPIEGELMOM Scraps shop. There'll be links down below to both the Facebook group and the shop. So definitely check that out. And we will be having a YouTube hop on, well, a YouTube and Instagram hop on June, oh, where did I write it down? On June 6th, and it's going to be kind of a technique hop. So definitely something you should look forward to, and watch the Facebook group for more information on that as well. So I'm choosing to use this photo of my daughter. It's not one that she's probably going to be happy about knowing I used, but whatever. She shouldn't take it then, right? I like some of these photos, like they're just kind of random and they catch her personality. Like she goes in these moods where she's just kind of like, eh, or meh, I guess would be a better descriptive term for it. But yeah, I'm using a navy blue piece of paper to back that. I'm trying to shift the sequin so that my photo sits a little bit flatter, and then I'm going to stick it down. And this photo, I can't remember when it was taken, but it's kind of a very good descriptor of our times right now. So I am using that Good Times Ahead. That's going to be my title. And I'm just going to do a doodly border here, and I'm just doing a line and then 3 hearts and another line and 3 hearts. I'm going to go all the way around. I deeply regret choosing this pen. This is a Papermate Flare, and I think it's dying, and it just was so like unpleasant to write with. I don't know, does anybody else have problems like that where if you don't like your pen, like it's torture to use it? And I don't know if it was the combination of the pen and the paper or what, but it just was like, it felt like I was writing on sandpaper. So I think it's the pen. I think it's probably dying. I use it a lot, so it wouldn't surprise me, but. And just finishing up that doodly border, and then I'm going to go to town on embellishments. And I am using, I think I use all Dear Lizzy stuff. I've been a little obsessed lately, and it matches the colors of the sequin mix so well that I just figured why not. I found this peace sign and I had to use it, so it didn't matter. I needed to figure out how I was going to stick it on there. So I decided to go around my photo with the cluster, kind of like in the inspiration piece where she has all of the florals and everything. And instead I'm just going to go with these random die cut stuff, or pieces. So there's a mix of collections here. It's, I think I used some She's Magic, some, oh goodness me. What's the color one? I'm not going to remember it now. Yeah, I don't remember. But like 3 of her recent collections. And yeah, just putting a bunch of random things on. I really like those little glasses that I put on there. It's a good way to get them used up on a layout like this, and because I struggle to use stuff like that, and it just was a cute addition. But really I didn't want to cover up too much of the cut file and the sequin work because it did take, well, it didn't take that long actually, probably 10 or 15 minutes to do that. But yeah, I didn't want to cover it up after I did all that work, so. And now I'm just going to adhere everything down. There's a few areas I have to pop some fun foam up, like with that peace sign, because it's over some sequins, and so I needed to pop it up a little bit. And then I was trying to figure out, because I didn't particularly like the title down there, like 100%. I wanted it more by the photo, but it just wasn't going to work, so I just give in and put it down there. Yeah. So just going to be gluing everything down. And so for off the board challenge, I will have links down below to everybody who played along. It was actually supposed to go up yesterday, but I got my dates mixed up. And so mine's going up today, but everybody else's went up yesterday, so I'll have links down below to everybody else who played along. So you can hop over and check theirs out. And then again, I will have links down below to everything SPIEGELMOM Scraps so that you can find great inspiration and amazing sequins. And yeah, so as soon as I'm done adhering all of these die cut pieces down, I am gonna, and of course since I moved them all, I forgot where I had them. But I am gonna come in with those extra sequins that I pulled and stick them around. So first I start with the butterflies, and I'm just using my Zatz blings. Zatz blings, yeah. They're the tiny ones that I use to stick down sequins, my favorite thing to use for adhering sequins down, and going to town with them. I stick a lot of extra sequins on because they're just the perfect addition. They don't add too much or take away too much, and they add sparkle and color everywhere, and they just make me very happy. So I add quite a few, actually 4 or 5 butterflies, and then a ton of those flowers, and then a couple of the other teal ones. And that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would be great. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And I promise my voiceovers will get better. I promise. I'm just a little out of practice. So see you again next time. Bye.